Hey everybody, and welcome to the channel and to the Ultimate Racing League, and a very happy new year to you all. This is a brand new season of our Saturday league, and we are over in Italy for the start of this season. We're at Monza, that world famous track, and we're in the GR3 cars. Now, I'll go over the rules as the race progresses. I'm not going to go through them all now, but very simply, we're in a Group 3 car, any car of the driver's choice. As long as they stay with that car for the season, there'll be no penalties. I'll go on about tyres and race rules as the race progresses. Now, just as a quick overview of the season, we've got 10 rounds. 7 of them will be 3 15-minute races, and the other 3 will be endurance races of around 45 minutes, but that'll be converted into laps. This being one of them, so they kick off the season with an endurance race. So it's about 45 minutes, 26 laps, as you can see on the screen. So yeah, what a great way to get this season started at Monza and with the chicken, or chicane as it is properly known. So as I say, I'll go on about the track and bits and pieces as we go along, but as it's the first race, we're going to get a look at the livery, so I don't know why I'm changing the screen. Yeah, let's have a look. Now, the guys have been out there and done 10 minutes qualifying, and we're just going to have a walk around the grid so we can take a bit of a look at the cars and see what it's all about. Now, I've been off for a few weeks over Christmas. So I'm trying to get back into the swing of it and what each button does, so forgive me if I do go a little bit wrong. But on pole position, Motorstorm Hero. He's on the racing hard tyres in the Porsche. It looks like a Falcon livery there for his Porsche. So that's Motorstorm. In second is Osman, the Wizard of the Wheel from Wales. Well, is that Sky? Yes, it's just a Sky livery. But looking fantastic. Welsh flag on there, and absolutely right. Third on the grid is Stormfly. Now, some of the guys are going to be new to me, new to us, really. So it'll be interesting to see how these guys. Now, I have done one race with Stormfly, and I say I did the race with him. I was on the track with him, but he was that far in front of me. I never really got to see what he was like. So got some fast guys on this track, and Stormfly is there in, it looks like the McLaren. So looking fantastic in that McLaren. Fourth on the grid is Fitzy, and is that a GTR? I think it is. He's in the GTR Splashed in Fanta livery, looking awesome as always does Fitzy. I've completely lost my bearings now. So that was Fitzy. He's fourth on the grid. Fifth on the grid is Unforgiven, and you can see what kind of grid we've got if the likes of Unforgiven are way down here in fifth. He's in the GTR now. That is not a livery, I am pretty sure. So hopefully we'll get that corrected for the next round. Derg is in sixth, also using the GTR. Quite a few gone for the GTR. Looks awesome, doesn't it? The Guinness livery there for Derg. And why not? Although he's not Irish. Well, he says he's not. Brian the Mechanic sitting in seventh, gone for the McLaren. Xbox, what's that all about? And Forza, well, Xbox and Forza on a GT7. Right. Anyway, moving on. Eighth, we've got Grasshopper, and as I mentioned about how strong the grid is, to find Grasshopper down in eighth, it just, as I say, it shows the strength of this grid. But there's Grasshopper, and it looks like he's in the NSX. Ninth is a new driver to me, and it is Silly Shot. Whoops, I'm going the wrong way. And that's Silly Shot. He's chosen the BMW. It looks like the Sprint model. Now, I'm not sure if that is his livery. I think it might be. He might have just gone for the plain white. Very understated, but they're the ones you've got to watch. But that's Silly Shot. As I said, looking forward to that, because I've not seen Silly Shot. That's going to be a right tongue twister, isn't it, during these races? 10th is Stealth. Very familiar face is Stealth. And that does look fantastic, that Porsche. If you've done that yourself, Stealth, well done, mate. I am very impressed. I like that. It is not over the top. but very subtle, and I love the colours on that, so well done to you, my friend. 11th, another now familiar face, is Phaser. Always great to have Phaser on the track, full of enthusiasm, and yeah, as I say, it's always great to have Phaser on track, and saves a lot of the replays for me as well, so I do appreciate that, and the car looking awesome actually. So that's Phaser. 12th is Pete, or Peter. Again, becoming more of a familiar face is Pete. Another quick guy, so this lobby is just absolutely full of the quick guys. Now that is just a standard livery, I think, for the Nissan, but we shall see in race 2. Usually gets sorted out in race 2. Nink, or Ninky Noo, in another Porsche with the Emirates livery there. Looking fantastic. I do like the look of the Porsche. I hate to drive the bloody things, but I do like the look of them. It'd look good on the driveway, wouldn't it? And then we've got Rufus, our host, our league, or this particular league creator, so thank you to him for doing all of that. And now that, I think, is some sort of NASCAR livery, and I've got a feeling that's the one he's going to be using on Sundays as well. So it looks like he's going to be in the BMW for most of his races. And let's just have a look at the front there. Yeah, I think it is the Sprint model, because I think the Endurance has got the fog lights. But that's Rufus in 14th, and then another new driver to me, Sid the Sloth, in 15th in the Supra. And again, that just looks like a standard livery. So there's a couple of guys that have not got their full liveries on. Maybe they've not quite got them ready. Bit of a rush to get onto the track. Maybe the car's only just been delivered. Who knows? Hopefully we will get it all sorted for race 2. But that's a look at the drivers. So let's come out of that view and get back into normal. And we'll get this race started, shall we? So enough waffle from me. So 26 laps around Monza, and we will get the guys underway. And we'll go through tyres, etc, etc, etc in a minute, as they head off towards turn 1. Now this is the this is the layout, excuse me, this is the layout with the chicane, so it's really important that you get your nose in front before you get to that chicane. And I'm just going to sort of go through the pack, because I don't want to see any pile-ups. Hopefully we won't, but obviously this is where we're going to see it, in mid-pack, as we get 15 cars all trying to go around the same corner. So far so good. Still, we do have a yellow flag, a bit of ghosting going on, but that's only because everybody's so bunched up. Oh, Brian the mechanic, he's already come unstuck. Now, what happened to him? Well, you know what? I'm going to go back again, because I don't know whether we got a nudge or what there. But Brian the mechanic, let's just have a look. It all got a bit tight in there, didn't it? As we thought it would. No, he didn't get a nudge at all. He just overcooked it on the exit. So that's unlucky. Not the start that Bry wanted, and we know Bry is very quick. So that's put him right back, hasn't it? He's on the hard tyres as well. Now I think all 3 compounds has to be used throughout this race. So Bry just trying to get rid of the hard tyres as soon as he can. Usual rule is at least 2 to 3 laps on each tyre. We'll see as we go along. Motorstorm Hero still out in front though. He started, let's have a look. He started on the hard tyres, and he's actually leading this pack, so well done to him. He's got Osman chasing him down on the mediums. Then we've got Stormfly in 3rd with Fitzy 4th, although Fitzy has picked up a penalty already. Half second. Now the penalties could prove to be quite valuable to the other drivers, and harmful to yourself on this track, especially with some of the guys we've got on here. I mean, this top 4 or 5 drivers, Motorstorm, Osman, Stormfly, Fitzy, they're all extremely quick guys. Unforgiven in there as well. This is going to be an interesting race. But at the minute, Motorstorm Hero out in front on the hard tyres. So we'll just keep an eye out for pits. I don't think there's a pit window either, so the guys can come in whenever they want. I think it is a minimum of 2 laps per tyre. That's the usual rule anyway. as Osman gets himself out in front. Come on, cameraman, catch up. Quite an easy overtake really with the slipstream down that home straight, but Motorstorm's fighting back. He's got himself on the inside of Osman as they go into the chicane. Osman just gets himself in front. Oh, what fantastic racing between these guys, and Stormfly took advantage of that as well and has snuck himself through into second. Stormfly down into third. Stormfly on the mediums, Motorstorm on the hards, and these two are seriously battling it out. Osman has got himself in front and is now looking to scamper away. He's on the medium tyres, so he's got a bit of an advantage over Motorstorm. Motorstorm kicking up a bit of gravel there, but managing to stay in front of Stormfly. Fitzy just sitting there in fourth, watching all of this with Unforgiven just behind him. So let's just jump on board, shall we, with Stormfly as we go around turn 7. Oh, as Motorstorm goes very wide again and kicks up some gravel. That's given Stormfly the opportunity to go through. He's got the momentum, I think, to keep going as they head down towards Ascari for the second time. Now then, where is he? There he is. Motorstorm is in the mirrors of Stormfly, but Stormfly is into Ascari first. It's like a bigger chicane. There's about 3 on this track, including this one, and it's just a bigger chicane. But Osman now out in front and looking to get away. Stormfly in second. He's got Motorstorm all over the back of him as they come down to Parabolica. Fitzy, you can see in fourth, has come out of here. Let's get out of his car. I'm sure Stormfly doesn't want us driving around with him most of the time. Now then, Osman, bit of a fake going into the pits there, do you think? Already opening up a couple of car lengths gap. Now this is where the race is going to take place because of the slipstreaming. Stormfly has not really got a slipstream, but Motorstorm certainly has. So has Fitzy, so is Unforgiven. But they all stay in line as they go into this chicane for the third time. Then the race is on around turn 3, Biasmo, towards the second of the chicanes. Osman already looking to stretch his legs and get away. He enters Della Roggia now. This is turns 4 and 5 through there safely. This is another little tricky chicane. It can throw up a few penalties as you if you get the exit wrong. There's PT's moved up into 8th with Stealth in 7th. He's having a great race at the minute. He's Stealth. He's on the soft tyres. And I do like the look of that Porsche, should I say. It's very simple, but I love the colours. As Porsche goes around, Stealth goes around turn 7. Get myself all confused now. Peter's in 8th. Ninky is down in 9th. He's got Grasshopper all over the back of him. Grasshopper on the medium tyres. Ninky on the mediums as well. So a lot of the guys choosing to go with the mediums. And Ninky actually doing a great job of keeping Grasshopper behind him. Grasshopper, we know, he's an alien, and he is extremely quick. He's a great racer as well. I mean, we have as Nink gets it all wrong. Oh, he takes Grasshopper out as well. Oh, we have got to go back and we've got to have a look at that, haven't we? It is down towards Ascari. Ninky looks to be in control. Into Ascari, no problem. He's still got Grasshopper all over the back of him, but now this is where it went wrong. He gets himself onto the AstroTurf. At that point, he's just a passenger, and there's nothing Grasshopper could do there. Just T-boned him, has managed to stay facing the right way, which is a fantastic bit of car control. And I think he helped Ninky as well. Ninky's managed to stay facing the right way. But that is so unlucky, and I think he's got dirt all over his tyres, so Ninky really needs to take his time. Excuse me. He's going to have to clear them tyres and get them cleaned up. Grasshopper now moves up into 9th, then he's on the chase after Peter. We've got Brian the mechanic, managed to recover after his spill at the very first chicane, and he's up alongside Ninky already. Both of them side by side through the first chicane, turns 1 and 2. Ninky again a little bit out of shape as that Porsche twitches its way on the exit, and that is the problem with this car. It used to be a very safe go-to car, but I don't know what's happened to it, but it is really twitchy now, especially coming out of turns, as Brian the mechanic and Ninky do almost side by side. into turns 4 and 5. But Brian the mechanic gets the better of him on the hard tyres, picks up a penalty though, and I did say, didn't I, earlier on, that chicane is a bit of a hot spot for penalties. Phaser in 12th, keeping it nice and steady is Phaser on the hard tyres. Rufus in 13th. He's on the softs now. I was expecting Rufus to get a little bit further up the field, to be fair. On the soft tyres, you've really got to make them work for you while they're still okay, because as you can see in the bottom left hand corner, the wear is starting to go on Rufus's car already, and we're only on lap 4. So the soft tyres are not going to last that long on this track. Silly Shot in 14th. He's got his indicator on, so there is no left turn, Silly Shot, so just be careful. Unless he's popping to the shops or something, I don't know. No, he's having a look up the inside of Rufus, and Silly Shot has done it around Parabolica. We've turned 11, and Silly Shot, fantastic line through Parabolica to take the place away from Rufus, and that drops Rufus down to 14th, Silly Shot up to 13th. So Silly Shot on the medium tyres, he's going to start trying to make his way through the field, is he? And then down in 15th we've got Sid the Sloth. Not had a great start. You can see the gap between himself and Rufus, so he's obviously had a bit of an issue somewhere, and apologies we missed that. But he'll keep going. It's a long race, 26 laps. We are only on, well, he's just crossing the line now to start lap 5. So we've got a long race ahead of us. So we're back up to the top. Oh, and Osman has picked up a 1 second penalty. Now where is Stormfly? How far away is he? The Stormfly in second on the mediums. He can see just up ahead that Osman has got that penalty. In fact, all of the guys look like they've got penalties. Unforgiven has made his way up into third, so a fantastic race for him. But he's got a half a second. Fitzy, he's got a half a second. Motorstorm has got a 1 second. Wow, these guys really are collecting penalties, but that shows how hard they are pushing on this track. So let's have a look and see what that's done. Osman is still out in front. It has allowed Stormfly to get a bit closer. Now is he in the slipstream? As we exit turn 11 and back onto the start-finish straight, heading down towards, excuse me, the first chicane. Now that straight 1100 meters long, so if you can get in the slipstream, it really does help you. So 1100 meters from the exit of turn 11 to turn 1. Stormfly still in second, Fitzy in third. Unforgiven, he's made his way up into fourth. He was in third at one point, wasn't he? But I think Fitzy's managed to get by, obviously. That may have been done on the straight. As they go around turn 3 up towards the second of the chicanes, Della Roggia. Turns 4 and 5. Let's jump on board with Unforgiven as we exit turn 5 up towards this double right-hander, which is the Lessimo Curva. Turn 6. Careful not to go too far to the left, then into turn 7. Taking as much curve as you can on the right and the left on the exit, so you can get the power down early, and then it is a big run down now, down the hill. I think this is called Del Seraglio, give my pronunciation, but down at the bottom here we find ourselves at the Varante Ascari, the bigger of the chicanes. Again, being careful, you don't want to go too far to the right. We saw Ninky do it earlier, and it's flipped the car around. The Unforgiven and Fitzy made it look easy, didn't they? This is classed as one of the fastest, if not the fastest tracks in Europe. It's been around a while as well. I can't remember when it was built, but it's a pretty old track. It's near the city of Monza in Milan, and as we all know, it is the home of the Italian F1 Grand Prix. A little bit of useless information about the track there. Well, Unforgiven under no pressure whatsoever from behind, so he can concentrate fully on the back of Fitzy's car. Now we're just going to go down the order. Motorstorm Hero, well, he's dropped to 5th, so he has had some issues, and sorry we're missing there. You can't watch everybody all of the time, unfortunately. Motorstorm in 5th, Derg in 6th, Derg on the mediums. Having a steady race is Derg. You would normally find him up there with the leaders, but it just shows how strong this field really is. We've got Stealth in 7th. You can see the soft tyres really starting to take some punishment now. We're on lap 7. Now obviously the guys would have worked it all out. They know when they're going to stop and what tyres to use and when. These guys didn't really stop for Christmas while we were all tucking into turkey and sprouts. These were all on the treadmill, keeping fit for these races. Pete in 8th, keeping things nice and steady. No pressure for Pete. He can just concentrate on his own race, trying to get some qualifying laps in. Grasshopper in 9th. Then we've got Brian the Mechanic in 10th. Looking a bit lonely for Brian the Mechanic. Oh, now then, why have we got a yellow flag? Why have we got a yellow flag? Let's just go back. I don't know why. Oh, it was Stealth. It was Stealth. So through Ascari goes Stealth. Oh, now, where did he get that bit wrong? Let's have a look. That looked right at the entry into turn 8, actually. At the start of Ascari that Stealth caught that one. Yes, it was. It was right at the beginning. It just didn't quite catch enough of the curve, I think, on the left-hand side, and the back end of that Porsche just decided to carry on going. So that's unfortunate for Stealth. Not cost him a massive amount of places. So he's fortunate there. He got away with that. Although it has allowed Grasshopper to get a bit closer to him. There's Grasshopper in 9th. Again, I would have expected Grasshopper to be further up the field than this. Brian the Mechanic in 10th. Definitely on a mission. We'll start having a look at some of the lap times in a minute. You can see that Osman has got the fastest lap, 47.8. And, well, let's just have a look, shall we, at Osman. He is on the medium tyres, so Osman has got the 47.8 on the medium tyres. You can see just gone purple there as well. Stormfly staying with him. Stormfly's last lap was a 48.5. Osman's, well, that was his fastest lap, 47.8. So Stormfly not quite a second away, although he's picked up half a second there. Fitzy in the background, he's also picked up half a second penalty. And didn't we say right at the beginning of this race that the penalties were going to play a big part in this race? Unforgiven still in 4th. He's having a good race, isn't he, Unforgiven? He's on the soft tyres though, so he is going to have to pit very soon. We're about, well, I would say 50%, especially on the left-hand side of that GTR. So Unforgiven will, like many others, will be coming in for a stop very soon. Motorstorm on the hard tyres. He's got plenty of wear left in them, but I'm sure he will be coming in pretty soon just to get rid of them. So we're looking at around 10 laps then, maybe, do you think, for the soft tyres? I'm expecting people to start coming in over the next couple of laps. I'm not saying they will, I'm just expecting them to. There's Dirk in 6th at the minute. He's on the mediums. Tyres looking okay. Fuel at about quarter tank. So maybe it's going to be fuel that the guys need to pit for before tyres. Although the guys on the softs, it's going to be both. Definitely, it's going to be both. I think the tyres and the fuel are going to run out together. Looking at the tyre wear on Stealth's car. Grasshopper does seem to be getting closer to Stealth now. I think he's... Stealth's soft tyres are really starting to hurt him, and as you can see, Grasshopper is already onto the back of Stealth. He's just going to follow him around turn 3, I think, get through the chicane and maybe try and make a move as they exit the chicane. If not, I'm sure he'll go through turn 6 and 7 and then make his move on the Del Salagrio, which is the run down towards Ascari. Grasshopper just has to be patient. There is no need to do anything silly. He knows he's quicker than Stealth at the minute. The tyres are better. He's caught Stealth up very quickly, so he knows that Stealth is probably struggling in that Porsche on them tyres. So maybe Grasshopper can make his move now as we head down towards Ascari. No, it doesn't look like he's close enough. He sort of let it slip a little bit, didn't he there, Grasshopper? And Stealth is going to get to Ascari first now. On the last lap he had a bit of an issue here, didn't he? Oh, and he managed to keep hold of it this time, so well done to Stealth. Grasshopper a lot quicker through there. You could see how cautious Stealth was. I think he had a bit of a flashback to the previous lap where he came off, and you're always going to be a little bit more cautious the next time round. So Grasshopper now trying to get into that slipstream of Stealth. He's definitely close enough. I've got a feeling Stealth, he's pulled to the right, so is he going into the pits? I think he is. Yeah, so Stealth is going in. He's struggled enough on those tyres. Motorstorm is also into the pit, so here we go. We are going to start seeing people coming in. So Motorstorm is in, he's fueling up. Stealth is in. Brian the Mechanic is also in, so Stealth has got to get the softs off. Brian the Mechanic and Motorstorm are getting rid of the hards. Silly Shot is in. Rufus is in. So as we suspected, the guys are all going to start coming into the pits now. Now, change your camera, Mark. Come on, sort yourself out. Osman looking very commanding in the lead at the minute. He has got, well, the fuel lights on for him, and tyres are okay, but I'm sure he'll change them. But Osman is out in front now. The gap between himself and Stormfly, although we can't see it, so we have to guess, I would say is probably about 5 seconds. I'm only guessing. I am only guessing, and we can't really. There we go. We can see a bit of a gap, but it's very difficult to to gauge it. But it's definitely between 3 and 5 seconds, I would say. And let's just keep an eye on Osman's. Is he coming into the pits? Sticking very close to that right hand curb. So I'm guessing that Osman is coming into the pits, and he is in. So our race leader is in. Stormfly, he's followed him in as well. Fitzy, exactly the same. He's come in. Unforgiven is coming in. So all the top 5 are in. Is Peter going to follow them in as well? He's going to have to. The fuel light's flashing away. At an absolute push, he might be able to roll around the track for one more lap. But no, decides enough is enough. He's in. Grasshopper, well, he's definitely got to come in, hasn't he? He probably won't even make it past the chicane with the amount of fuel he's got. So Grasshopper's in. Motorstorm then. Already made a pit, and he's out on racing soft, so Motorstorm now is going to be on a charge, full tank of fuel, racing soft tyres, and well, look out, the top 3. Motorstorm is coming for you. He is definitely going to be on a charge, isn't he? Peter's still in the pit. Unforgiven is still in the pit. They are just on their way out now as Stormfly goes through. So Stormfly now has moved up into 3rd, and he's got Fitzy in his sights. This is where it's going to start getting interesting now. So Stormfly on the racing softs, he's on the chase. Fitzy has gone to the hards, so Fitzy is doing a stint on the hards. He's only put, well, there's only half a tank of fuel in there for Fitzy, so he's gone for the lighter load on those racing hard tyres, so he's not intending to go far on them. Osman, he is also out on the softs, so this is going to be a fantastic battle, I think, between Osman and Stormfly. Fitz is in there at the minute, but he is going to pit very shortly just to get rid of those hard tyres and maybe even a little bit more fuel. So the race will open up to Osman and Stormfly. Motorstorm, though, he's up there now, although he's picked up a 1 second penalty. The penalties are very harsh, aren't they, round here? But Motorstorm has picked up a penalty. We are only on lap 11. We're not even halfway through this race. The Motorstorm seems to be handling that Porsche a lot better than most. Definitely better than I do. Which is not a difficult task, I know. But I find the Porsche very, very tricky to handle this time around. It's very twitchy. You've got to get your braking done in a straight line. Well, I have to anyway. But Motorstorm seems to have really tamed it. He has got Unforgiven on his backside though, and Unforgiven, he's in the slipstream. So can he get close enough to put Motorstorm under some pressure before they get to the chicane? I don't think he's going to get there. He's certainly going to get a lot closer though, as they slam on the brakes into turn 1, just trying to avoid that curb on the right and then the left, because it will spin the car around, but both got through there okay. No pressure whatsoever from behind for Unforgiven, so all of his concentration is on the car in front, which at the minute is Motorstorm Hero, as they go into the second of the chicanes, turns 4 and 5. This is where the penalties are being picked up, as the guys just try to take a little bit of each curb, and you can see that Motorstorm has picked a penalty up. So let's jump out of there and we'll go on to Motorstorm. Oh, and it's a 1 second penalty. Now that is going to put a smile on Unforgiven's face, I'm sure, because if Unforgiven can stay this close to him, surely he's going to nick that spot and move up into 4th. We're just going to stay with Unforgiven as we go down towards Ascari, and you can just see just up ahead that Motorstorm, the bar is starting to fill up above his head, because the penalty zone is just as you exit turn 10 and get onto the straight. And there we go, Motorstorm has served the penalty now, as Unforgiven got the momentum to take the place. You know what, I don't think he has. He's definitely going to get closer to him as they go into Parabolica, but this is going to give Unforgiven the chance. If he can get a little bit closer, he may have the slipstream on the home straight and make a move before they get to the chicane, but there is a couple of car lengths gap. Unforgiven, he is definitely in the slipstream, and it's so frustrating. He just cannot get close enough, and he's not going to get close enough before they get to turn 1. So Unforgiven has got another lap. He's just going to keep pushing and pushing. Motorstorm can breathe a bit of a sigh of relief there. I bet he was looking in his mirror, and they're coming up behind Sid the Sloth, who I'm sure will move out of the way and let these guys get by and crack on with their racing. He's had the blue flags waving, so Sid the Sloth, I'm sure he will move. A bit of a tricky place, really. Oh, and he's gone off. Sid the Sloth has completely gone off. He didn't really need to do that, but well done to him for it. So let's have a look down the grid. Pete still in 7th, Grasshopper 8th, Stealth down in 9th. He's having a right old battle with Brian the Mechanic in that Lamborghini. So it is Lambo against Porsche then, as we go up towards turn 6. Oh no, we're just coming up through the chicane first. Sorry, I just got my bearings a little bit wrong. I was looking at the map at the top right, and everybody had covered the chicane up. So Stealth just ahead as they come out of that chicane into turn 6, onto this short straight, then into turn 7. Let's go. Well, I was going to go on board with Stealth, and we'll have a look at that Lamborghini, but there's no point, because it is Brian the Mechanic. But has just got his nose in front, and it literally is just his nose, as these two go side by side down towards Ascari. Now Stealth is on the inside and will have the advantage going into this turn, and as you can see, Brian the Mechanic, I think he's just backed out of that a little bit. Now he may be looking at trying to get a better exit. And Brian the Mechanic, let's jump on board with Brian the Mechanic as we chase Stealth down this back straight towards Parabolica, which is turn 11. He's got the wipers going, so it must have, I don't think it's due for rain. Maybe you can't find the switch to turn them off. Or bugs, it could be bugs. Just get rid of the bug. So it's Lamborghini versus Porsche. There is nothing behind at all, so these two are just having their own private little race as Brian the Mechanic gets ever closer to Stealth. That slipstream really pulling him in now as Brian the Mechanic pulls to the inside as they approach turn 1. This is going to be tricky and tight. Oh, and he just gets it done. Fantastic move from Brian the Mechanic. Stealth, not a lot he could do about that. He just had to give up that turn. Otherwise there could have been a coming together. So a fantastic move from oh no, Motorstorm. Well, that was definitely squeaky bum time. Let's have a look at what's happened there. Well, I've got to go back a few minutes. So Motorstorm Hero in 4th position, gets to the chicane. Everything looks okay. He's gone over those curves a little bit hard, but just doesn't seem to be accelerating. There's nothing. Unforgiven goes by. Oh, don't tell me he's had a disconnect. I think he has. Motorstorm has had a bit of a... Oh, what a disaster. And the grass is spun around that way. The guys go through, and that is not what you want to be looking at when you come flying around that corner. And it's a good job that ghosting is on, but what a shame for Motorstorm Hero. That's a disconnect. Hopefully he can get it working again and get back racing, but oh, what a disaster for him. Now, is he back up and running? He is trying to re-enter safely, although going, oh, and that's the bit we saw when Brian the Mechanic and Stealth went flying through. Well, we'll come back to Motorstorm in a bit. We're with Osman out in front, looking comfortable, looking like he's got this race pretty much wrapped up. You can see the gap behind. You can't, what I'm trying to say is you can't see a car behind, that's the gap. So Osman looking really comfortable. Stormfly in 2nd place. He's unfortunately he's just let Osman get away. Now Osman in the Genesis, and maybe that car's just too quick for the McLaren. There we can just see Stormfly now coming through Parabolica. So well, we know that the straight is 1100 meters, so I'm guessing there's probably about 800 meter gap between them. What that equates to in seconds, I don't know. Osman picking up a 1 second penalty though. It's not going to affect his place, but it will allow Stormfly to get a little bit closer to make a race of it. But Osman, well, he's just dominating, isn't he? 1 second's not really going to hurt him, as long as he doesn't make a habit of it. So Stormfly in 2nd, he's just got to keep going. He's got to keep going and hope that Osman makes a few more mistakes. Fitzy in 3rd. Same thing. He's just going to have to keep going, doing his own thing, and hoping that the guys in front of him will make a mistake. Oh, has he just done that? Half a second through that chicane. It is catching a lot of people out, that chicane. Unforgiven sitting in 4th. He's having a great race, isn't he? I'm sure he'll be pleased with this. Derg has moved up into 5th. Quiet race for Derg. He's just gone about his business. He's not got involved in any dramas, or not that we've seen anyway. He's just got his head down and got on with it, and he finds himself now in 5th position. Peter has moved into 6th. Looking a bit lonely for Peter. His nearest rival is Grasshopper in 7th. He's got Sid the Sloth just ahead of him, so Grasshopper's just got to get by him, and he does it now on the run down towards Parabolica. So that's Grasshopper through to 7th. Brian the Mechanic in 8th. We've just seen him make that great move on Stealth. So Brian in 8th in the Lamborghini. Stealth coming through in 9th. We've got Silly Shot. Oh, he's picked up a 2nd penalty as well, and I'm guessing that was at the 2nd chicane. Indicator's still going. He's still looking for that exit, isn't he? But Silly Shot is going to be forced to slow down and serve that 1 second penalty. Just following through, there we go, job done. Phaser in 11th, with Rufus in 12th. He's got a penalty as well. Ninky in 13th, with Sid the Sloth in 14th. We've got the blue flag, so who's that behind him? Oh, it's Brian the Mechanic. So Sid the Sloth is there. They go through turns 1 and 2. Oh, as Brian tries to get the power down and went a little bit sideways. Well, that'll teach him for having Xbox written all over his car. And Forza. That's what it does. If you have those sort of things all over your car on GT7, then it just makes it extra heavy and slidey. And look, we can see as Sid the Sloth decides he doesn't like those barriers, and he's going to move them out the way so that everybody can have a bit of a cleaner run through that chicane. Brian the Mechanic gets through. Stealth in 9, so Oh, who's that picked up a penalty? Oh, it's Phaser. Phaser's picked up a 1 second. The penalties are just coming thick and fast, aren't they, for these guys? I bet they get so frustrated out there. Somebody who's not getting frustrated, though, is Osman. Even though he served the 1 second penalty earlier, he still looks like he's out there on his own having a bit of a practice lap. And he's probably getting a bit bored, to be honest. He's got nobody to race. It is just empty tarmac in front and behind. So just practice laps really for Osman. He's just got to keep it steady, keep it straight. Loving that livery as well. Let's get a closer look at this this livery of Osman's. The 2 or 3 tones there at the bottom on those skirts. It's fantastic livery, that is. And if Osman done that himself, well done to you. I'm loving that. So that's Osman out in front, looking very comfortable. And at this stage, even at this stage of the sale, lap 17 of 26, it's Osman's to lose really. He's got another purple sector as he goes through Parabolica, Ascari, and now heading down towards Parabolica. So maybe looking at another fastest lap. He's got the current one at the minute at 147.3. We're just going to follow Osman through and see if he gets another fastest lap. He's out in front. He's looking comfortable. He can't see another car, and yet he's still pushing. Oh, and he's in. Is he in? No, I thought he was coming into the pits. He's even faking. He's faking me. He's trying to fool me that he was going into the pits. Let's have a look. 47.3 still for Osman. Stormfly still in there. Well, it's getting lonely for him as well, isn't it? So the front 3 are really spread out, and in third, well, Unforgiven's made it up to third. He's having a fantastic race in that GTR, which I'm sure is not a proper livery. So we shall see when race 2 comes. They normally get sorted for race 2. What I should have done before I started, I should have closed it all down and reopened it all again, and that usually resets it. But like I say, it's not very well organised today. First race back after Christmas. Derg in 4th now. So like I said earlier, Derg's had a pretty quiet race. He's not been involved in any dramas, just gone about his business, and he's finding himself in 4th. Great looking car in the Guinness livery there, and is that the toucan at the back? I need a quick swig of juice. Peter in 5th. Everybody really spreading out now, aren't they? Peter in 5th. He's now on the medium tyres, just over a quarter tank of fuel. So I'm just trying to work out whether these guys are going to need to pit again. It seems that they have to use every compound throughout this race. Oh, as Peter gets that completely wrong out of turn 7. Just on the power, too much, too early, and the back end has come round on him. So unlucky for Pete, but we've seen it so many times on this track tonight. Guys just getting on the power just a little bit too early, and on the back end deciding to just give it up. So he's now got Brian the mechanic all over him in the Lambo, and Brian the mechanic using every bit of the track and a little bit more, trying to put the pressure on. But Brian is going to have to come into the pits now. You can just see the fuel light has just started to flash. So it'll be interesting to see whether he comes in this lap, or he's going to try and stay out and take a place away from Pete. No, he's coming in. So Brian the mechanic is in. So this will be his final stop. Change of tyres for Brian now then. Brian the mechanic, let's just have a look. He started on the hards. He's on the medium. So he's now going on to the soft tyres. So let's see if Brian the mechanic can do a bit of catching up. Well, we'll leave him to get the fuel in. Nink down in 10th in the Porsche. He's going to have to make another stop soon. Fuel's about out for him. Rufus in 11th, same again. One more stop for Rufus. Silly Shot in 12th, he's just made a stop. He's now on the hard tyres and full tank of fuel, so he should be able to go to the end of the race now on those. He's still looking for that exit. Look, the indicator's still going. Oh, he's not, he's coming in. He is coming in. So obviously he's been out and done his 2 laps on the hard, so he's just going to change. Doesn't need fuel. And then we've got Sid the Sloth in 14th. Just negotiating turns 1 and 2. He's in the Super as well. That is another handful. Some guys really manage to get on well with the Supra, others just really struggle. It's a very difficult car to drive, I find, the Supra. The back end is just so lively. Very quick car, fantastic car actually, if you can get it right. No, Osman has used it before and he's been really successful in it. But then again, Osman is creeping up into alien territory. And it looks like Osman is about to lap Stealth in 12th position, so Osman really not messing about, is he? So Stealth will, I am sure, move over and let Osman through just as soon as they've gone around turn 7 and they're on the straight down there. Osman has a little bit of a tow from Stealth, but it doesn't need it. So he gets by successfully. Both still racing, and Osman is definitely going to have to come into the pits now. He's not going to make another lap on the fuel he's got. Stormfly, same for him, he's going to have to pit as well. So 1 and 2 are in the pits now. Unforgiven, now then, he's probably got another lap out of that fuel tank. So it's going to be interesting to see if Unforgiven decides to stay out and just have a go at leading this race for a short while, or is he going to come into the pits and settle for 3rd? He's got Derg behind him, not that far, but Derg is going to have to make a stop as well. So it could be that if Unforgiven stays out, Derg could come in and try and get the undercut done, although there is a bit of a gap between the two of them. So let's just have a look. It looks like Unforgiven, oh, he is coming in. Unforgiven is in. So is Derg going to stay out? Yes, he is. I thought he might. So Derg's going to stay out, so he really needs to make this lap count as Osman just exits the pit just ahead of Derg. So Derg now moves up into 2nd. Osman, well, Derg's actually taking the lead. He just had the momentum there, but he's given the place back to Osman. He didn't. Derg doesn't want to battle Osman. It's not his race. He's in 2nd, but he's not racing Osman. I think he's having more of a race with Unforgiven, to be honest, is Derg. So Derg's going to do this lap and then he's going to have to pit. Unforgiven has pitted and he's back out in 4th again. So the race between Unforgiven and Derg is the one that's going to be quite interesting. Osman has pretty much got this race wrapped up. Stormfly, he will take over in 2nd again when Derg comes into pit. You can see there's plenty of others going in the pit. Grasshopper's been in, Peter's in, Phaser is in. Brian the Mechanic, he's been in and he's back out again. He's on the soft tyres. At the time they cut that corner, it looks like they're coming into the pits, doesn't it? Phaser's in, Stealth in 10. He's made his final stop. Silly Shot in 11th. He's made his final stop. So has Rufus. It looks like Sid the Sloth, he may have to pit again for fuel. So yeah, I think Sid the Sloth might have to pit for fuel. So back up to the top then. Osman still leading, still looking very comfortable. Derg in 2nd. He's not that far behind, but he is going to have to pit now. As you see, Derg stays to the right and comes into the pit. So it really comes down to where does Derg re-enter the track. Stormfly goes through to take position 2 again. Now then, where's Unforgiven? Unforgiven is just coming around Parabolica and exiting turn 11. He is onto the straight now. Derg, oh, the fuel's not even going in. He needs to get some fuel in that car and get out. Unforgiven is going to go by, and Unforgiven will take that space back. He has. So Unforgiven moves up into P3. Derg is still in the pits. He's just on his way out now. But it's too late. Unforgiven's gone through, and Fitzy's gone through as well. So Derg back down to 5th. Well, he tried it. He did try it, and didn't quite pay off. He's definitely a lot closer to the guys in front of him, but he couldn't quite get that move made. So Derg back down to 5th. Fitzy in 4th. Unforgiven is 3rd. So let's just have a look at the tyres, shall we? Osman, well, he's just so far in front, it doesn't really matter what tyres he's on. Same with Stormfly, they're both on the hard tyres anyway. Unforgiven, oh well, he's also on the hard tyres. Fitzy on the mediums, so Fitzy may be looking at a podium. He will definitely have that in the back of his mind. So Fitzy, the chase is on for him to try and catch up to Unforgiven and take P3 away from him. Derg, he's on the hard tyres as well, so what is it, 4 out of the top 5 have all saved the hard tyres for the last stint. We're on lap 22, so what's that? Oh god, my brain don't work. Four laps to go. Well, 5 laps including this one. And yes, I am sitting here working it out on my fingers. It's early. So Derg in 5th then. Osman, well, we know Osman, he's picked up another penalty. Well, he keeps picking these penalties up, but he's that quick, it doesn't really make any difference at all, does he? We just saw Stormfly in the background. So the wizard with a wheel really is proving his worth out there. And he's just coming up to lap even more cars. Stormfly in 2nd. I knew he was quick, and he's proved it. In that McLaren, never really out of the top 3. He's currently sitting in P2 and having a fantastic race, really, is Stormfly. Unforgiven having, well, another fantastic race from Unforgiven, currently in 3rd, but he's got Fitzy closing him down and getting closer and closer, really. Fitzy on the softer compound tyres, but are there enough laps? As we go into the second chicane, turns 4 and 5. Let's just have a look, where are we? There we are. Let's just jump on board, shall we, with Unforgiven, and we can have a look behind as we go around turn 6, just coming up to turn 7. We just see in the background there Fitzy. So there's Fitzy around turn 7, and we're on this back straight now, heading down towards Ascari. In his foot to the floor, and I'm sure Unforgiven is pressing that foot even further. He's trying to push it through the carpet. You're not going to make it go any quicker by pressing it harder and harder, but I'm sure Unforgiven is. He's just trying to open a gap, but that gap is just getting smaller and smaller. Fitzy really is chasing Unforgiven down. If he can get into the slipstream, I think Fitzy will get the move done. It's just purely he's on the softer compound tyres. The hard tyres are always, well, hard. They're very difficult to control. You can see how much Unforgiven is pushing. There's not much he can do about it, to be fair. Fitzy gets in that slipstream, as I say, with softer compound tyres, and you can see Fitzy now. He's going to make the move. Pulls to the inside. Oh, no. That's going to be interesting. Because I don't know why we had the yellow flag. Now let's just go up ahead. Well, I can't see what was wrong anywhere. But the interesting thing is, I'm going to go back again, because the yellow flag came up. Now then, did Fitzy get the move done before the yellow flag or after it? There's not a lot he could do about it, because he'd already committed to making the move on Unforgiven, and the yellow flag came up. Now I think he might have got away with it, because if he did overtake under a yellow flag, it's 3 seconds, but I think he's got away with that, luckily enough. So Fitzy up into P3 and has got himself on that podium for now, but Unforgiven is just not letting it go, is he? He's going to keep chasing Fitzy. He's going to keep pushing, although unfortunately he is on the harder compound, and I think Fitzy's going to start just edging away. Derg in 5th, Grasshopper in 6th. Never really got into this race, did he, Grasshopper? Well, I'm getting the timer coming up now to tell me off. So it looks like I'm going to be running out of, I could easily be running out of time. Let's hope not, eh? There's Peter in 7th, Brian Mechanic is 8th, Phaser is 9th, Stealth is in 10th, Silly Shot 11th, Nink in 12th, 13 is Rufus with Sid the Sloth in 14th. So back up to our race leader. He's just trying to get past Ninky into turn 1. Ninky, well, he just put over a bit of an awkward spot, that really. Osman obviously desperate to get by, but maybe could have just waited till they got through that chicane. It's a bit of a tricky one, and it's hard when you've got faster guys coming up behind you. You do want to move out of the way, but they always seem to arrive at the worst possible spot, never on a straight. Now I hope the race finishes before the timer runs out. I've been told I've got about 3.5 minutes to go. So it's going to be interesting, this is. Hopefully we'll get the race done. Or as Ninky gets a bit out of shape. So Stormfly in 2nd. I think this is how it's going to finish, with Osman and Stormfly 1 and 2. Fitzy looks like he's got 3rd pretty much secured. The gap is starting to appear now between himself and Unforgiven, but Unforgiven's had a fantastic race, and I'm sure he'll be pleased with 4th. Derg in 5th. Again, another good race from Derg. Grasshopper in 6th. Peter is in 7th. Brian the Mechanic 8th. Been a bit of an up and down race for Brian the Mechanic. He's had a few spills, and he seems to get back into the race, and then a mistake costs him and it pushes him back again, so he's had a bit of a troublesome race. Stealth in 9th. He's got Phaser all over the back of him, so Stealth has been mixed up in quite a few battles actually throughout this race. And this shows, I've said many times, you don't need to be right at the front to have a good race. And Stealth has been involved in a couple of battles now. Phaser there putting the pressure on as they go through the second of the chicanes, through turns 4 and 5. Silly Shot in 11th. Nink, Rufus, and then Sid the Sloth down in 14th. So back up to the top. He's on the final lap. Is Osman. We are on the final couple of minutes of this recording, so hopefully they'll get it done. You can just see Nink and Rufus having a bit of a fight as they go through the chicane, as Nink goes a little bit sideways, as we would expect from the Porsche. Stormfly in 2nd. Nice and steady for him. Hopefully they've timed it both right. I'm just looking at the fuel on both cars and they are about out, but there's going to be enough for them to get to the end of the race. Stormfly in 2nd. Fitzy is now 3rd, and I think that is the podium pretty much sorted out, unless a mistake is made by Fitzy. I think even if Osman or Stormfly make a mistake, they're still going to finish on the podium. So it really is up to Fitzy. You can see how Unforgiven really pushing. He's asking everything of that GTR, isn't he? Unforgiven. He can't ask any more of it. Now just back up to Osman then, our race winner, around Parabolica for the final time, back onto the start-finish straight. He can see the checkered flag. A fantastic race from him. Didn't really put a foot wrong. Well-deserved victory for Osman. Stormfly coming in 2nd. Brilliant racing from him. Well done to Stormfly. And Fitzy is going to finish in 3rd, and that completes the podium for this race at Monza. I think we are going to run out of time before everybody finishes, so I apologise for that, but we will get as many as we can in. So Fitzy across the line in 3rd. Unforgiven, he will cross the line in 4th. Well done to him. Derg is going to finish in 5th. Then it will be Grasshopper, then Pete, Brian the Mechanic, Phaser, Stealth, Silly Shot, Rufus, Ninky, and Sid the Sloth. So apologies, it's going to finish a little bit earlier than it should. It's just that we can only record for 60 minutes. And with the intros and replays, it's just pulled us back a little bit. So I shall catch you all, well, next week.